bright air, edge so sharp it whittles hair. Jim Skelton speaks in a voice so pure, forever recognizable, his tenure endures. He lays it out for the maker's creed, a trusted voice which is what we need. Blades with history and tales to tell, Jim's the map that guides so well. Narration of truth in a world of shills, knowledge tested and screamed from the hills. Educating the world and sharpening minds, he stops the blind from leading the blind. OG reviewer since 2012, there's no topic too deep for him to delve. A knife maker himself, a collector of blades, he's not here to sell, only to be your aid. Maker glides if their work gets his praise, legends born from his early days. So sit back and relax and enjoy all the facts that this nutcase is gonna pull out his ass.
Hello boys and girls, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me as always. My name is Jim and I am here to discuss with you today the brand new Jack Wolf knives drop for April of 2025. Today we're going to be looking at the Vampire Fixed EDC. And I got to tell you, I've been doing the pee-pee dance for the better part of the last week, waiting to come out here and share this with you because I am in love with this little fixed blade. So let's discuss very quickly what Jack Wolf Knives is all about so that you get a better understanding, if this is your very first time being exposed to them, what their whole ethos is. Jack Wolf Knives began right here with slip joints. And the idea behind this was Benjamin Belkin, the owner and designer of Jack Wolf Knives, says, hey man, I grew up on slip joint knives. The men in my family carried slip joint knives. I grew up learning about them. That's the classic. That's where we all started, or many of us anyway. And I think that it's fallen off. I think that people have forgotten how great a slip joint knife really is and how useful it really is. So what's selling right now? Tactical style folders in materials like carbon fiber, titanium, things like that. So he says, why don't I take the traditional classic slip joints in these classic patterns, same shapes, same profiles, and make them in modern materials like titanium, carbon fiber, and so on and so forth. And the legend was born. This is my Benny's clip in all titanium and S90V. Then there was a quick evolution because it only made sense. If people are buying tactical style folders, they're buying locking knives. And I have a built-in audience, a huge fan base that love these classic slip joint designs. Why don't I take these classic patterns and make locking knives too? So the second generation of Jack Wolf Knives was born, and they have done exceptionally well. They're fantastic quality, incredible action, standout materials and finishes. Ben's done an incredible job. And then last year came the very first Fixed EDC, packaged in what looks like a VHS case. How friggin' cool is that? Now, this year in 2025, we are seeing the second fixed blade from the brand. And I think they did an incredible job. Packaging, for one, is just fantastic. Closed cell foam, laser cut to fit both your leather sheath and your knife. There will be a tip protector on here, by the way, just so that you know. I took mine off because, like I said, I've been excited about this. So I've been I've been carrying this ever since it arrived. Every single day, no matter what else I was carrying, I've had this in my pocket. And I really, really dig it. I even made myself a Kydex sheath for it for the times that I may not want to carry the leather sheath, or over time as that leather sheath begins to soften and it may not grip the knife as well as it does now, I'll have a piece of Kydex that this locks into. Now, there is a lot to love in this teeny tiny little package. And let's start there. Let's start there with how teeny tiny it really is. Your overall length is only 6 inches with a 3.02 inch blade. The cutting edge is only 2.65 inches because you have this exaggerated sharpening notch that exists as a signature on all Jack Wolf knives. So it is a small but very easy to carry and use little fixed blade. Now, I think if it didn't have the lanyard on here, it might be problematic. The lanyard is going to serve to have a pinky hold. So now it's going to feel more like a full-length grip, even though it's really barely a 3-finger handle. This is going to be a good little worker. It is a super thin ground, hollow ground S90V steel blade in a hand rub satin. That looks gorgeous, of course. I went with the titanium scales. There are going to be other choices available. I just felt this one was going to work best with the other knives and guns and everything else, flashlights and stuff that I'm going to be pairing this up with, because this is going to be another one of those knives that's going to live in my pocket more often than not. So I wanted to have something that kind of went matchy-matchy with a lot of things that I own. So that was the main reason. So for me, I'm going to be carrying this in my left side pocket. So my clip is going to go to this side with my edge toward the rear. Now remember, you do want to get some of the scale into the sheath so that it can lock in. And you're really going to be using the lanyard to help pull it out. Now, if you're wondering, when you go to draw the knife, is the sheath going to come out of your pocket? No. Because this sheath, look at that. Look at that clip. Look how aggressive that is. That digs into any material, your jean pocket, any pants pocket that you've got. It can be used as an underhook under a belt. So if you choose to kind of maybe put this inside the waistband, the clip goes outside of the pants, but underneath, outside of the waistband, and this part of the clip will go over the belt, and it'll hook under the belt on an 1.5 inch belt. And that's not going nowhere. You'll be able to draw this out super quick, super easy, and not have any issues whatsoever. Or you can just simply clip it to your belt. Hang it on the outside, put it on the inside, doesn't matter. You've got a multitude of ways that you can carry this because of how tough that clip really is. You're going to enjoy that. This is one of the few times that I can tell you that a sheath provided with a factory knife is very, very effective. Another thing that I like about this is the fact that they chose to add the cobra knot or snake knot lanyard with the titanium lanyard bead. Now, they all come with a lanyard and a titanium lanyard bead, regardless of the material that you choose here. And I think it's a nice added touch. It reminds me a lot of a Sebenza. Very cool added touch. Let's talk about all the specs all together. You're looking at a coffin style pattern. Your scales are dark blasted titanium that have milled flutes. Does come with the lanyard and the dark blasted titanium bead. Your sheath is an ambidextrous black leather with white stitching. The hardware, this may not have jumped out at you at first, but that is, let's see if I can get a close-up on this. That is black DLC on the hardware. It's very subtle, and I like that. Okay. Again, your total length 6 inches, blade length 3.02 inches. Your blade stock is 120 thou thick. The weight is only 1.6 ounces. So it weighs almost nothing. The sheath weighs about as much as the knife. So you got about 3 ounces there total. You're hardly going to realize it's in your pocket, man, or on your belt, or however it is that you choose to carry it. Super simple, super easy to carry. That is the definition of EDC. You can carry this every single day, not be burdened by it, and it's going to be very, very useful. I like the fact that it matches up nicely with my Benny's clip. I mean, tell me, is that a cool loadout or is that a cool loadout? Hell yeah. That's the way to do it, brother. I like that. So, these will be dropping live on Friday, April 18th at 2 p.m. Eastern at all authorized Jack Wolf Knives dealers. You can go to jackwolfknives.com, click on authorized dealers. It will give you the list of all the authorized dealers that exist all around the world. And you can make your choice from there. Don't miss out on these because these are super cool. Even if you've never carried a fixed blade or never carried a tiny fixed blade, do it. Trust me, you're going to get use out of it and you're going to love having it. It's a fantastic little knife that they did a really great job in the overall quality. The finish work on it's really, really nice. This is a real winner. And at that point, when Ben steps up and starts making dressier slip joints, I hope that he will consider making a dressed fixed blade. A barbecue fixed blade. How cool would that be? Oh yeah. Just think about that. Think about that with all hand rubbed satin, mirror polished perimeters, black or white mother of pearl scales, even if they were synthetic, or ivory or faux ivory scales. Oh yeah. Or you want to go really, really pimp, you do the crystallized titanium for the scales, or Timascus. Yeah, you'd see a lot of people carrying these. Because there's just something about having an elegant, fancy pants, small fixed blade on you that makes you feel a little bit special. And here's a good example of what I mean. Now, this is a significantly different league. This is a handmade custom by Jerry Mullen, has genuine ivory. I mean, the scales on this are valued at more than double what this entire knife sells for. So yeah, going into a dressy model, sure, it would be more expensive. But tell me, guys, and put it down in the comments below. If you love this as a great EDC, wouldn't you love to have something that's a dressy version that you could carry? You know, maybe it's on Sundays, maybe it's your church knife, maybe it's the special event at the office knife or something like that, your kid's graduation, I don't know. Just to have a cool miniature Jack Wolf dress knife. And yes, I am continuing to push the whole dress knife thing. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here for now. Thank you for joining me as always, and I'll see you on the next video.